Ayun.
Adventure lover, vlogger, or
Ayan, hello. Okay, at this point in time, we'll now start our virtual class discussion. So, good morning, everyone. And this is Sir Amber. Okay, so I just want to greet you a blessed Tuesday morning to everyone. It's March 8th. And those who are my students here in TTL2, I hope you have time to watch this recorded live discussion for module number 2 in our subject. So without further ado, let's start. So in our module 2, we have the integration active learning approaches in mathematics and science learning. We're in at these learning objectives or at the end of this module, the student should be able to discuss the concept of the different learning approaches in mathematics and science teaching and learning, discuss how information and communication technologies will help develop the present mathematics and science lessons using the different active learning approaches, brainstorm on the possible products of outputs that will serve as an evidence of learning of the developed learning outcomes of the learning plan using inquiry-based learning, problem-based learning, and the project-based learning, and integrate active learning activities in the development of mathematics and science learning plans. So those are our learning objectives for in this module. So let's start with ayan. It says here that mathematics and science learning have been regarded as difficult or challenging because of the abstract nature of the concepts of lessons being delivered in the mathematics and science subjects. Sometimes the manner by which these two courses are thought like out of touch. So we all know that mathematics and science are top subjects, di ba? Some of us nahihirapan sa math and na nagkakaroon ng natatakot sa math, di ba? Kaya kung iisipin din natin sa school natin dito sa HGB ko konti yung kumukuha ng major in math kasi hindi naman daw sila magaling, hindi naman daw sila ganun kagaling in terms of numbers, di ba? Kasi uh, the concept of mathematics, the world of mathematics, just like sciences also, is abstract, no? Kasi meron tayong different uh ng science and including mathematics, may applied math, something like that. So very broad talaga yung pag-aaral ng mathematics, and that's why parang sinasabi natin na hindi naman tayo gano'n kagaling in terms of the subject mathematics. So, as such, it is expected that mathematics and science teachers must be carried out in a more applicable to the students' lives. So, that's why some of the teachers or math teachers must be equipped talaga on how they deliver the lessons, how they deliver the correct process of solving some problems or math problems. To be able to realize the development of the necessary knowledge and skills in mathematics and science learning, active learning approaches must be utilized. Active learning approaches are characterized by learners' engagement in activities that are geared toward the generation of new knowledge or making meaning of existing knowledge while developing the 21st century skills such as collaboration, media literacy, critical thinking in the process. So, yeah, active participation in terms of discussing or learning science and mathematics. Diba? Collaboration. And that's one of the major goal natin. To collaborate for to others, no? That's why 'di ba sa science we have laboratory activities na wherein nagkakaroon tayo na ginagamit natin yung collaboration natin, yung collaborate efforts natin with the other students. Same story in mathematics. So sa mga problem solving activities, nagkakaroon ng collaboration and at the same time critical thinking din kasi paano nga ba nakuha yung sagot na 'to? Bakit nga ba yung sagot ay 22? Bakit nga ba yung ganito ay ganyan? Something like that. So four of the recent active learning approaches introduced to enhance teaching learning process are the inquiry-based learning or the IBL, the research-based learning or the RBL, the problem-based learning or the PBL, and the project-based learning or the PRBL. These learning approaches are designed to give more depth and breadth in the learning of contents in the K to 12 curriculum. While these approaches are meant to provide opportunities for active exploration of content, each of these approaches has a distinct characteristic that needs to be considered by teachers in the realization of learning competencies, especially in the mathematics and science teachings. So we have the different learning approaches. May inquiry based, may project based, may problem based, and also the research based na ginagamit natin and as approaches in learning. Okay? Yan. Later on, we will differentiate the four, okay, or gagamit lang ata tayo ng kahit dalawa. We will differentiate. Ayan. Kung ano nga ba, para saan ba si inquiry, si project, something like that. So knowing the distinctions among these active learning approaches will help the mathematics and science teachers in deciding which approach to adopt. So as a teacher or as a future teacher, you must know the difference of the four. Para kapag i-discuss mo sa klase mo or magagamit ka ng learning approaches, alam mo kung ano yung inline or connected doon sa topic, anong learning approach ang gagamitin mo na connected doon sa ila-lesson mo. Central to active learning approaches is the construction of framing questions that will guide the learners in their investigation either on a specific topic or unit. Investigations become more meaningful when these are related to real life experiences or real world issues or problems. As learners, become active participants in the process of generating new knowledge, technology, whether digital or non digital, plays an important role in the utilization of these active learning approaches. With the ambiguity of technology tools that learners is exposed to, it is the teacher's role to ensure the appropriateness and relevance of such tool in the development of learning competencies. Aside from Aside from learning mathematics and science skills, it is also important to train learners in their responsibility as they engage in digital learning activities and enable them to discriminate digital tools that are useful in enhancing their knowledge on the content of investigation. So, active participation is very, very needed in and generating new knowledge. So active participation meaning papasok na dyan yung collaboration and critical thinking din. So as a teacher, you must be a guide. You must guide your students. Lalo na ngayon that we are in the digital era and we have the digital materials that we are using as our medium of instruction. Okay, so kinakailangan din natin as a teachers, we need to guide our students in using the appropriate tools, yan, tools, and at the same time, we must teach them, okay, to enhance more their capability and ability to to use, 'di ba? Hindi lang itong tools na 'to, kundi iba pang mga tools lalo sa in digital era. So first, we will discuss the inquiry-based and the research-based learning. So we will start with the inquiry-based learning and the research-based learning, IBL and the RBL. Our learning objectives for these lessons are discuss the salient features of inquiry-based learning and research-based learning and its application to the attainment of mathematics and science learning competencies and mathematics and science learning outcomes, analyze the how technologies for teaching and learning mathematics and science can be maximized in inquiry-based learning, and research-based learning. Share some performance standards from the curriculum guide that can employ inquiry-based learning and research-based learning. Okay, what now the nature of inquiry-based learning. So from the word inquiry, okay, inquiry its definition. Okay, it is simply as definition is the process of asking questions. Inquiry, we are inquiring. Okay, we're just asking questions. This has spurred the numerous development that are continue to ayan, that are continue to enjoy in our society today. It continues to usher the study of so many fields that enable various sciences and experts to provide solutions to emerging issues affecting society in general. In the classroom, in particular, the process of inquiry is a basic learning activity to us among learners in primordial in the age of the fourth industrial revolution. Ayan, so fourth industrial revolution, and we are now facing the fourth industrial revolution or the fire or the 4IR. Okay, and as a student, it's a necessary and it's a basic thing na nag-i-inquire, nagkakaroon ng inquiry yung bata sa atin. And as also as teachers, we inquire din sa ating mga we are asking questions also to our students. So, according to the future of the job reports during the World Economic Forum, the top three of the top 10 skills needed in this age are complex problem solving, critical thinking, and creativity. So, as part of the fourth industrial revolution and as a part of the 21st century individuals or professionals, hindi lang dapat ikaw ay magaling. Hindi lang dapat ikaw ay marunong. Dapat you are good in in creativity and at the same time critical thinking and problem solving skills. And so mostly may mga pa-logic din, dapat magaling ka doon. Okay? Inquiry based kasi from the word inquiry eh. So pag inquiry gagamit ka ng cognitive. Okay? Gagana dapat ang problem solving skills mo. Dapat gagana ang critical thinking skills mo. And then syempre your creativity. Inquiry-based learning is as an approach essentially involves tasks requiring learners' active participation in finding answers to particular questions. The questions can run from very specific simple questions to more complex questions in relation to the curriculum. Learners are given opportunities to engage in self-regulated activities as they pursue their investigation. Using this in the mathematics and science classrooms can facilitate the development of communication skills as it involves activities such as writing and presenting outputs as evidences of inquiry among others. This approach encourages students to work together in accomplishing their task. The process of inquiry starts from posting a question aligned to a content standard in the K-12 curriculum for mathematics and science. Investigation proceeds using various sources of information and presentation of outputs of the students using a productivity tool. Depending on the required output, assessment tools that will be used should be given to the students before the inquiry commences. So now when to use the inquiry-based learning? So according to Chisholm and Godley, purport that inquiry-based instruction, which is also referred to as inquiry-based learning, offers an especially appropriate approach to learning about science since IBI can provide students with opportunities to investigate and learn practical skills though through hands-on activities. As for mathematics, as IBI can help students focus on how to solve problems in difficult but logical ways. So, from the good part of using the IBI or the inquiry-based instruction or the inquiry-based learning as in the field of mathematics is that we can have we can focus on answering the problem. Because through inquiry-based learning, papasok kasi dyan yung creative, tawag dito, problem-solving skills and at the same time, the critical thinking skills. So we can manage to solve some mathematical problems through inquiry-based learning. Ayan. So we have different types of inquiry. According to VU, in 2020 represented the four types of inquiry that can be used in facilitating classes. First, we have the structured inquiry. When we say structured inquiry, this lets the students follow the lead of the teachers as the entire class engage in one inquiry together. In structured, the student follow the teachers kasi nagbibigay ng instruction si teacher. 'Di ba? From the word structured na siya. Structured. Okay? Na the student follows the lead of the teachers. So next one we have controlled. The teacher chooses topics and identifies the resources the student will use to answer questions. So the teacher has the control for um for the topic for the resources na ginagamit natin. Na ginagamit niya sa klase sa teaching and learning process. Controlled. Okay? And dinidiscuss lang niya sa kanyang estudyante. And then next we have the guided. The teacher chooses topics or questions and student design the product or solution. So kung dun sa structured, okay, pina-follow lang ni student si teacher. Sa controlled, si teacher ang pumipili ng topic and then siya rin yung nagdi-discuss. Okay. At ina-identify ni teacher yung dinidiscuss niya, yung topic niya. Sa guided naman, dinidiscuss or si teacher ang pumipili ng topic. Now, si student na ngayon ang sasagot. Okay? Si student ang gagawa ng process. Si student ang gagawa ng product at si student ang maghahanap ng solution. Okay? Next, we have the free inquiry naman. Now, it's the students are allowed to choose their own topic without any reference or describe outcome. So, si student na lahat-lahat. Okay? Hindi na wala nang pakialam si teacher, kundi nagfa-facilitate na lang si teacher. Hindi na sa walang pakialam pero facilitator na lang si teacher. Parang nandun na lang sa gilid, nagfa-facilitate na lang ginagawa nung estudyante. So wala nang control si teacher sa pagpili at pag-design at pag-solve ng kanilang sa ginagawa ng estudyante. So I will repeat, structured inquiry, the teacher or the student follow the lead. Okay, follows the teacher. Okay? The student follows the lead of the teacher. Sa controlled, it's the teachers controlling the topic and then discussing or it identifies the problem or the topic. Okay? Nasa full from the word controlled, it's the teacher's control of the topic. Nasa kanya yung control. Okay? Guided naman, parang hati na. The teacher will choose the topic but the students answers. Diba? But the student will give the answer, will give the product, or will give the solution of that topic. And so free inquiry is the full, okay? It's on the full performance, ayan, nasa estudyante na lahat-lahat. Okay? The teacher will serve as the facilitator na lang. Okay, so free inquiry. Now, what is the role of the teacher in inquiry-based learning? Success of IBL largely depends on the careful planning of the teacher in relation to the curriculum. The mathematics or science teachers needs to look into the learning competencies that can be satisfied by a simple inquiry or more complex inquiry. He or she controls and prepares the topic for investigation and guides the learners by setting the questions to the topic to be explored. Learners are allowed to design their own way of investigation and investigation and present their outputs using technology tools that are afforded to them. When technology is coupled with IBL, a gateway to information is opened, and can have the information to any time and anywhere. It is assumed that the teacher is knowledgeable of the sources of information and whether the learners have access these learners. So, as the role of the teachers here is to have the wide knowledge of using technology also. Okay? Kasi ikaw yung magtuturo sa estudyante how to use that technology, how to use that productivity tool. And as a teacher, dapat alam mo yan. Alam mong paano mapagana, alam mo kung paano gamitin, okay? Kasi nga, ituturo mo yun sa estudyante mo eh. 'Di ba? Parang yung kanina, ikaw muna yung magli-lead. Ikaw yung magtuturo, okay, this is the PowerPoint projector, ito yung isasaksak mo, pipindutin mo, and then this is the port wherein it will project whatever on your laptop to the screen, something like that. And then habang tinuturo mo yung process ng how to use the PowerPoint projector, now the student is i-inquire na siya ng mga knowledge how to use that one. And then, mapupunta tayo dun sa free inquiry kanina na ang si estudyante na ang magmamanipulate doon sa projector. Excuse me. Siya na yung magsasaksak. Siya na yung maglalagay kung ano yung mga dapat isaksak para ma-project yung nasa screen ng kanyang laptop. Ayun. So, dapat as a teacher, no, kapag magtuturo tayo ng mga, since we are now in sa technology era, dapat aware tayo sa mga ginagamit natin. Alam natin kung para saan yung mga ginagamit nating mga productivity tools. When designing an IBL, the teacher has to consider the following fields proposed by ABSEC and Kosinchik. Prior knowledge and capacity, ayan. 'Di ba? As a teacher, you should consider this one. Prior knowledge and capacity. You have a knowledge, the capacity regards uh regards on what you are teaching, what you are discussing. Next, context. Learners requires meaning from experience. Context. Okay? Learners require meaning from the experience. The third one, the content and the learning materials. Number four, the process, yung proseso. Okay. Number five, strategy of reactions and behavior. And lastly, course outcomes. Yeah. Now, if those are the role of the teachers, now what is the role of the technology? The internet or the World Wide Web offers a lot of platforms for mining information. So alam naman natin na ang World Wide Web or the internet, madaming information na nakukuha natin diyan. It has become the most sought out source of information because of the variety of tools that abound. Language is no longer a barrier in one's search of information, depending on the unit of study in a mathematics or science curriculum. There are many free educational websites that are available for the mathematics and science teachers and learners. Yes, if you if you are kung nagba-browse talaga sa internet, maraming libreng mga resources. Okay, yun nga lang, madaming libre sa internet ng mga resources. Yun nga lang, it's the students. Hindi naman kasi lahat ng information or mga sites na ino-open natin sa internet ay tama. Okay? Be careful lang tayo doon sa mga ino-open natin mga sites kasi there are some sites na hindi naman nakakatulong talaga. That's why alam nyo pa rin na salain yung mga information na kinukuha natin from the internet. Due to the vastness of sources of information from the www or the World Wide Web, any mathematics or science teachers who is using IBL has the responsibility to direct learners to websites that provides the proper information. So yan, from the word itself, proper information. We will direct our students to a proper information. The technology tools that are made available for the learners, whether online or offline, should support the object of inquiry, which is aligned in the to the learning competencies in the K to 12 mathematics and science curricula. So, dapat yung mga ginagamit dati na resources from the internet, dapat inline din siya sa K to 12 curriculum. Okay, inline siya doon sa hinahanap learning competencies natin. Hindi lang yung porket connected 'to, ito na yung kinukuha natin na information, hindi po pupuwede yun. Okay, dapat tignan din natin, okay, basahin natin. Hindi lang yung copy paste yung ginagawa natin. Tignan din natin kung connected ba 'to, puwede ba, related ba 'to doon sa hinahanap natin, doon sa learning objectives natin, doon sa learning competency natin. Okay? It should be noted that the use of technology in IBL is just one of the many other sources of information in the process of inquiry. This does not exclude the other resources, human and non-human, in gathering information. However, learners are undeniably familiar and probably more adept in exploring the internet. Guiding them in locating online resources that are relevant in developing their research and communication skills will let them learn the importance of using educational resources in an explicit and implicit way. So, since we are the facilitator of learning for our students, so we need to guide them. We need to direct them to the proper information that they need in using internet. Okay, baka kasi kung saan-saan napupunta yung pagse-search nila at yung sine-search nilang information ay taliwas pala doon sa hinahanap nila, doon sa problem nila, na doon sa gusto nilang malaman ng kasagutan. Okay? So we must direct our students to the proper informations that they need in learning. Ayan. Because sabi ko nga, we have different resources talaga. We have different resources na ginagamit. That's why it's up to the learner, or it's in collaboration with the teacher to direct, to look for most suitable, okay, most suitable resources in what we are looking for. Okay. To be able to apply inquiry-based learning in your field, ayan, do the following step. Reading curriculum guide, ayan. So we have the curriculum guide in K-12, marami sa internet meron. Basta sa DepEd, so under DepEd, we have the DepEd portal kasi you can download ata doon, learning guide. Ayan. So identifying the mathematics. Okay, ayan. So that's it. Identify a grade level from K to 12 curriculum and read the curriculum guide for mathematics of this level. So meron po tayong curriculum guide na ginagamit talaga. Focus your reading. Ayan. Focus, identify. Identify. Tapos dapat kasi nga hindi yung pwedeng ito, porket ito na lang. No, we need to identify para makuha natin kung ano ba nga dapat nararapat na learning competency na connected doon sa topic na hinahanap natin. Okay? And yan. That ends our chapter no. Lesson 1 in module 2 or chapter 2. Okay, so naintindihan po ba? I hope naintindihan yung discussion natin. Don't worry, I will be sending you the soft copy of this itong file natin. I hope naintindihan naman yung di-discuss natin kanina. Okay ha? When we see inquiry-based learning, I repeat, we are inquiring, asking questions. Okay? We're just asking questions. Anong gumagana sa atin pag we are asking questions? And if we are dealing with questions, specifically in mathematics and science, gumagana dapat ang ating critical thinking ability, our logical thinking, our creativity, our problem solving skills. And as a teacher, the role of the teacher is to facilitate our students as they inquire more informations about using some digital tools or productivity tools. First, we have the structured, wherein we as the teacher, we are the one, okay, to lead the class, and the students will follow. In controlled, we have the teacher chooses the topic, and then it identifies the resources. Okay, so this is the topic, and the resources are this, and this, and this, and this. In guided, the teacher chooses the topic, and the student design the product or the solution. The teacher here just choose a topic, and then he or she let his or her students to design for the product or to look for the solution. And last one we have the free inquiry, wherein the full the use of it's the full process na is for the students. The student will choose his or her own topic, and he or she also design for the product or solution without without the teacher. The teacher here is just the facilitator. He will serve as the guide of the students. So nasa full use ng estudyante yung paggamit, dito sa free inquiry. And for the teachers, the role of the teachers here is he or she must have a wide knowledge, okay, about using technology, using uh, productivity tools in discussing to the class. Okay, dapat alam niya, aware siya kung paano gamitin, alam niya kung paano i-manipulate yung mga ganyan. Okay? Para ma-inquire nung bata at magamit din nung bata at malaman din nung bata kung paano gamitin yung technology or yung productivity tools na yon. And the role of the internet, the technology also. Okay, the role of the technology is we're just locating for the suitable information from the internet which is connected to our learning objectives, to our lessons. Sabi ko nga, internet, the world of internet have many informations. So to the it's up to the students. Okay, I know. It's the role of the teacher to give the appropriate information, to give the most suitable information from the internet na pwedeng gamitin ni students. Okay, ayan. We must, as a teacher, we must guide our students in looking some resources from the internet. Kasi baka iba yung mahanap nilang information, baka taliwas doon sa sinasagutan nila, doon sa ginagawa nila ng solution. So yun, that's our role. That's why in the OBE, outcome-based education, teachers are the facilitator. We are just a facilitator. And although we are not in the teacher centered, but we are in the student centered. Wherein the teacher is the facilitator of the teaching and learning process. Okay, para nga the main purpose of that is para the students can collaborate to the others, and they can use critical thinking ability and problem solving skills nila. So that is the inquiry and research based in learning, the IBL and the RBL. Next meeting, we will be proceeding to project based learning and the problem based learning. So I hope you learned something new. You learned again new lessons sa akin. So with that, thank you for watching and thank you for joining or watching my uh online live discussion in technology for teaching and learning too. And so all my students, I hope you learned something, my dearest student. So don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel. And thank you. Goodbye. God bless and keep safe. And goodbye everyone. Keep safe and God bless.